Hello everyone, this is Terry with Futures.io, and as always I would like to thank you for joining us today. And it is my pleasure to welcome back Saba from Earn2Trade for today's webinar, an introduction to Earn2Trade's The Gauntlet and the Gauntlet Mini. Throughout the webinar, if you have a question, please feel free to type them into the questions box. We'll do our best to answer them at the end of the event. This webinar will be recorded and posted on the Futures.io website within 24 to 48 hours. If you're watching this afterwards on YouTube, please do us a favor and give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the webinar. And as always, please feel free to share, comment, subscribe to our channel. It really helps us a lot. For trading news, events, and information, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter using @Futures.io. And now, without further delay, I'll hand it over to Saba, and you will get the pop-up to share your screen again.
Perfect. If you can see it.
Yes, looking good, and she's all yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, first of all, thank you all for showing up today. It's always a pleasure for us to speak to traders, and I really appreciate that you took time out of your day, everyone here, to listen to this presentation, to watch my presentation. And also, I want to thank Futures.io for organizing the event. It's been a while since we've done it the last time, and I've actually been missing just being behind the microphone. So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. To this presentation today, I'm going to take about 45 minutes, I believe, give or take. And then we're going to give you time to ask your questions. I'll be happy to stick around as long as you need me. So first, a quick introduction to Earn2Trade, the company that I work for. Earn2Trade, we incorporated this company in 2016, and we spent basically the entire year of 2017 developing our product line, our original product line, and we launched in 2018 in February, I believe, or end of January, February. So that's when we actually launched the products. And what we do, we basically do three things. We provide trading education for day traders. We provide an evaluation system, actually a set of evaluation systems now, to traders to see if they are good enough to get funded, which is the third thing that we do basically is connect traders to a prop firm. So traders, if you pass the evaluation, then you can get funded. That's the idea behind Earn2Trade. I'm sure you've probably seen our name here and there. It's been a very exciting year and a half since we launched the first products. We changed the product line a little bit, and we refined some of the rules and some of the things that we do, which I will talk about in the next 45 minutes. The two things, the Gauntlet and the Gauntlet Mini, these are the two products that I'm going to be speaking about. These are the evaluation systems that we have. The rules are fresh. The information that I'm giving to you is brand new, especially the Gauntlet Mini, which is a new product for us. So it's a very exciting period, and I'm happy to tell you all about it. So let's get into this now. As I mentioned earlier, we have basically three pillars that we stand on. It's education, evaluation, and funding. Today, I want to start by talking about the evaluation programs that we have. And I'm going to start with the Gauntlet, which is a 60-day trading challenge. This was the original product that we had that we came up with and launched in 2018. So some of you might be familiar with this already, but there has been some changes in the rules, and it's been a while since I've done a presentation like this, so it's worth recapping what the Gauntlet is about. So the idea is that if you sign up, you manage a $25,000 virtual account over a 60 calendar day period, right? It's very important to remember that it's 60 calendar days. And you sign up, we ask you to submit your trading plan in Earn2Trade's dashboard. So after the purchase, you're expected to log in to our dashboard and tell us a couple words about how you intended to trade. This actually scared a couple people. On customer support, I get the questions like, "Oh my God, I can't write an essay about." You're not expected to. You don't have to write a full essay about your trading habits, but it's good if you can share with us at least a couple sentences, maybe 2 paragraphs about who you are as a trader, what you like to trade, when you like to trade, what sort of assets you're more interested in, what news do you follow, when do you not trade because you might be thinking, those days are not for me, or those events are not for me. Just you can be as detailed as you'd like, but it's nothing to be stressed over. We're not going to hold you to the trading plan 100%. That's not the idea. But what the idea is that we get to know you as a trader as much as possible, and we relay that information to the prop firm as well once you've passed the gauntlet. So it's good to be detailed. After all, you're looking for basically long-term engagement with that prop firm, and it just gives you a little bit of a head start, or gives them a little bit of a head start in getting to know you. So that would be the first thing you do, is basically submit a trading plan. And the rules of the gauntlet of the original product is you have to trade a minimum of 30 calendar days and once per week. So this is end. There's an end relationship between the two. You have to trade both 30 calendar days and at least once per week. This is to basically prevent traders to undertrade or just to sit on some profits and then not really do a whole lot for the remaining period of their gauntlet. So we don't want, and the prop firm does not want people to sit on some profits and not trade really. So that's the idea behind these rules: 30 calendar days and once per week. The target is 10%. This has to be reached by the end of the 60th calendar day. Otherwise, it's a failed attempt. Now, if you reach it faster, fantastic. We will still require you to complete the 60-day period, though. So you can't cut the gauntlet experience short. This is a fixed period of time, so you have to continue trading even after you've hit the 10% profit target. And we have a 10% maximum drawdown rule, which is calculated on open equity. This is important to remember. Your account balance cannot dip below that 10% threshold, and then you're expecting, oh, this trade is going to work out, so I will just leave it open and hope that it will bounce back up. No, that's not going to work. If you cross that threshold, if open equity unrealized losses cross that threshold, then you're going to be out of the evaluation, unfortunately. Now, I don't know why it says 10% maximum drawdown. I really should say $2,500, right? Because this is not a trailing drawdown. So you start with a $25,000 virtual account, and you start trading, and the failure level or the drawdown level is at 22,500. It's not going to trail upwards. It's not going to follow you, follow your profits up and move up, right? So you understand what trailing drawdown is. This product, the Gauntlet, does not have trailing drawdown. So if you make $30,000 and then you lose $5,000, it's okay until you hit 22,500. So those are the rules. It's we try to keep this product as free of rules as possible. That's the idea behind the original Gauntlet. But these few rules, the minimum trading days you have to complete, the once per week rule, 10% profit, 10% drawdown, that's what we expect you to adhere to, and if you do, fantastic. A couple other things about the Gauntlet that I want to cover. So when you sign up, like I said, you submit your trading plan, and you also have an option to choose your preset stop losses, daily losses, weekly and daily loss limits, and additional rules as you'd like. Now, these rules, once again, it's for us to get to know you. It's for the prop firm to get to know you. So if you set your stop loss at $500, $250, it doesn't really matter from the point of view that you can't fail on these rules, right? So all these rules that you set for yourself is really just information that you present about your own trading style. If you break one of your own rules, you're not going to fail the gauntlet. Okay, so only the previous slide, which I switched away from now, that slide contains the hard rules. These are you can say soft rules, or just basically information that you tell us about yourself. Again, describe your trading style, tell us, then show us. It's the best possible outcome of a successful gauntlet is not only just passing the rules, but also basically submitting a trading plan beforehand and then executing that trading plan. That sends a fantastic message to the prop firm. They again, this is not something they're going to fail you on if you can't exactly follow your your submitted trading plan, but it's just great if you can do that. As I mentioned, we try to keep the rules, we try to have as few as possible and keep it as flexible as possible. Breaking your own rules does not end the gauntlet. Now, the pass rate, this is a question that comes back very often to our customer support channel. This product has been out for about a year and a half. So yeah, year and a half, let's say. The 2018 was to early 2019 was a full year of us having statistics on the gauntlet, and the pass rate at that point in our first year of operation was a little bit over 20%. Not exactly 20, of course, a little bit over 20% of people who joined and had an attempt at the gauntlet passed. So that's people like to ask that question. I'm not sure how it personally I'm not sure how it helps an individual trader. It might even be stressful that you can be in that top 20 or can be in the top 20. I don't know, but here it is. Here's the information, and I'm happy to give it to you. If you start the gauntlet, you have to pay $429. This is a one-time purchase. The gauntlet doesn't have recurring billing. There are no extra additional fees on the gauntlet. This is a one-time purchase that you make at the beginning of your when you first buy the package. And if it looks like you're not going to pass, if it looks like the time's not enough, or you're just fed up of trying to not hit the drawdown limit, and it doesn't look very promising to you, or whatever reason you might have, as long as your gauntlet is active. So active means you haven't failed the drawdown limit, you haven't traded more than 60 days, you didn't get out of the time frame. As long as it's still active, you can reset the gauntlet for $229. It's a click of a button in our dashboard, and you get set up with a new trading account. The timer will start from day one again, and your account balance will be back to 25,000, assuming of course probably you were below 25,000 when you reset, but it doesn't matter. Whatever reason you didn't feel like you were going to pass, you click the reset button and you start from the beginning. Now, it's important to note, however, that if you fail the drawdown limit, that's something you have to pay attention to, because if you fail the drawdown limit, then the gauntlet is no longer active. So it's not a reset, it's a repurchase. You get locked out of the account and you have to buy it again, which is it's something to keep in mind, and it's something that you have to pay attention to if you're hovering in that dangerous area of the 10% drawdown limit, or the $2,500 drawdown limit. So that would be it for the reset. It's actually I don't know, some of you may have already done something like this, the gauntlet, at our company, and one of the interesting developments that we've had since we started this product is actually setting up accounts. It used to be a nightmare. because it's we had a lot of manual stuff that we had to do to reset customers, to set them up in the first place. Even that took some time because everything was manual. It's not always easy to integrate stuff with Rhythmic, which is our data feed provider. Now I can say proudly that everything is automated at this point. We've been testing automated resets for a while. It just happens in 5 minutes basically, and customers get set up automatically. This is a new development that I'm sure some of you will appreciate very much. Things are speeding up with Earn2Trade. So let's move one step forward, right? You've passed the gauntlet. What's next? You go to LiveSim. LiveSim is essentially, again, another simulated account. Now, this is not a second stage of evaluation. Okay, it's very important to note that you're not asked for money. You're not asked to pay another subscription, or it's not another evaluation. But what we have found in the past year and a half is that when customers move out of the gauntlet and get to a live account immediately, they almost always start losing for some reason. I believe it has something to do with the excitement of something like the gauntlet, which is an everyday thing for 60 days. It kind of wears people down. It gets you a little bit of a rush towards the end. You try to get to the end. I mean, I probably don't have to explain this to you guys, how you probably know it actually better than myself, how excruciatingly terrifying it can be to look at the charts. And I know this from speaking to customers on customer support, and just the chats and the conversations that we have with them. You can feel that there's a lot of excitement, and there's a huge relief at the end of the gauntlet when you've passed. And then, much like students after a big exam, they immediately forget trading, and the live accounts get drained very quickly. That's not something we want. And the live sim is actually, people have a better chance of going back to a calm and organized state of mind when we put them on the live sim. So a live sim is basically another simulation that you can withdraw funds from. If you get in profits, you can request a withdrawal. Even though it's a simulated account, the withdrawals are honored, and the funds will be sent to you as you make them, the profits, of course. So that's it basically serves two purposes. One, it prevents or gives an extra layer of protection to the prop firm. And two, it gives a better chance for the traders to actually not lose their mind that it's a live account already, but basically ease them into something that's less terrifying, but still making money for them. That's the idea of the live sim. Anyway, so you've passed the gauntlet. You're starting the live sim with a $25,000 starting account. It's a virtual account, but it doesn't matter, because as long as you make profits on it, you can withdraw. The 25K is all available margin. This is we don't try to. There's no limit on the number of contracts. There's no unlockable. You cannot. It's not like you're easing into the 25K. You're starting with 25K. That's all available margin. Now, this margin, the margin question that comes up very often. It's the gauntlet allows you to trade overnight, leave positions open overnight, over the weekend, and so does the live sim. It allows you to leave your positions open overnight, which means that the products, we utilize maintenance margins on the products, which, as you probably know, or many of you know, are more expensive than the intraday margins. But again, this is an overnight evaluation and an overnight live sim, and the account that you get is also going to be most likely overnight with the prop firm, the live account. The gauntlet and the live sim, no restrictions on events. You can trade whenever you want, whichever event you're interested in. People sometimes seem to like them, or some people avoid them completely, but really it's entirely up to you. Excuse me. So we don't put any restrictions on you in that particular department, and not on the Gauntlet, not on the live sim, and not on the live account either. Now the live sim, how far does that go? Well, you're basically asked to stop at $5,000 in profits. You can withdraw anytime. It's important. You can request a withdrawal. You don't have to wait until you've made 5,000. Nope. You can withdraw anything over $100 basically. And anything below $100, I don't really recommend that, because it's just, there are bank fees and wire fees, and it's not worth it. Anything over 100 you can withdraw, and anything over 500, Earn2Trade will take care of all your fees. That's the idea. So at the $5,000 that you've made on the live sim, you are asked to stop trading the live sim, and you're getting moved to an actual live account. So let's talk about this actual live account and our proprietary trading firm partner, right? Which is called Helios Trading Partners. This is the first company that basically came to our camp in the beginning when we started Earn2Trade, and it's our desire and long-term goal to actually have more prop firms working with us. So basically to position the Gauntlet as an exam, an evaluation that you can, the certificate that you're given at the end of the Gauntlet, you can show that at other prop firms as well, and say, hey, I passed this, so let's work together. That's the long-term idea. At the moment, we have Helios as our sole partner, but we've been working together for a while, and it's looking very great, this partnership with them. So again, you've passed the Gauntlet. You've gone through the live sim. You get the exact same deal. Basically, you continue the exact same deal. You have a $25,000 starting account. This time, of course, it's live trading, so it's getting more exciting. And the profit split is 80%. That's always the for every single trader who passes the Gauntlet. So there are no different account profit splits. 80% goes to the trader. It doesn't matter how well he passed the Gauntlet. Less, with less profit or more profit, doesn't matter. 80%. And once again, just like the previous slide, I can tell you that this is all available margin from day one. I think if you can probably tell me, or you probably know it better, I think the ES is about $6,000, the maintenance margin. So I believe, I'm not entirely sure, though, don't quote me on that, but it's usually in that neighborhood. And so it means you can trade 4 contracts of ES from day one if it's below 25K, of course, the maintenance margin. There's no unlockable funds here. This is not, you're not easing into the 25,000, and there's no trailing drawdown either. You can trade whenever you want, much like on the Gauntlet. We try to keep the rules consistent from day one, from your first purchase on our website, all the way to when you work with a prop firm. That's the idea. So yes, you can trade whenever you want, no event restrictions. Now, what the setup is basically, it might be different from what you've seen with at other places. I'm not sure. Prop firm, the idea behind a prop firm is that it's not trading with other people's money, it's trading with its owner's money. That's the short of it, basically. That's what a prop firm is. Probably it's a simplification, but that's what it is. And so what happens is you're not becoming an employee or a contractor of Helios, but what you actually become is called a limited member or a limited owner. You basically become part owner of Helios to the value of your starting account balance, which is $25,000, and you get to trade that amount on a trading account. It's at the end of the tax year, it generates a Schedule K1 statement, and all the benefits of futures trading for the U.S. Customers. I'm telling you this. You probably know this better than myself because I'm not from the U.S. So it's really, I'm just parroting what's on the screen now. But futures taxing or taxing gains of futures trading, I should say, is beneficial to. It's better. Is what I'm trying to tell you. And it's not a 1099 contractor arrangement. There's also no NFA reporting obligation. Simply put, you become an owner of Helios to the value of $25,000. And a lot of people ask us if it can be scaled up. The answer is yes. If you are profitable with Helios, with the prop firm, they will scale you up. There are monthly reviews of trading performance. You're basically reviewed periodically, and then if you're profitable over, I guess, a couple months, you might have to ask Helios how quickly it happens. I believe 2-3 months, and then you can get scaled up to a larger account. So that's the short of it. That's what I wanted to speak about in terms of Helios. And so let's go over to the Gauntlet Mini. This is our new product. It's like I said, it's been a very exciting time because this is brand new. We started it in September. So this is an intraday evaluation. So right there, you see a big difference between the previous Gauntlet, which was an overnight product. You are asked to trade for 15 days, and you can take as long as you'd like because it's a subscription model. So it's not like you have a month or 30 days or only 15 days. No, you can stretch that out as long as you want. It's just important that you have to have a certain profit target that you hit, which I'm going to come to in a moment. There are different Gauntlet Mini account sizes. It's a subscription model. There are more rules. It's shorter, but there are more rules. It has stricter risk management that you have to go with. One of them is that you have to have all positions and working orders closed for what we consider overnight, which is of course 3:10 p.m. Until 5 p.m. This is all Central Time, and this is not the only. You have to pay attention to events as well. I'll have that on a later slide, but it's an intraday evaluation is what the point is here. The Gauntlet Minis, you can reset anytime. You can restart your Gauntlet Mini for $100. There is a progression ladder, so not your entire amount that you're trading with. The initial account size is not fully utilizable margin. There's a ladder of how many contracts you can trade. I'll get to that in a moment as well. And of course, some events are restricted. These are the rules that I'm going to be talking about in the next few slides. So account types. There's a lot to unpack here, but it's pretty straightforward. You can have the $25,000, the $50,000, the $100,000, and the $150,000 account, virtual accounts, right? These are the 4 different types of minis that we offer. And you can also see the profit goal also increases as the account size increases from $2,000 to $3,000 to $6,000 to $9,000. Now, this particular product, we do utilize a trailing drawdown here. So this is again a big difference from our earlier product that you may have done before, or you may have even passed before. Just remember here we utilize trailing drawdowns, and it's calculated on open equity. This is a question that comes back very often, right? It's calculated on open equity and it's trailing. We basically set it up so it trails all the way up to your starting account balance, and then it stops trailing. So if you started, for example, on the $100,000 account and you've made more than $3,500 in profit, then basically the trailing drawdown will stop at 100,000. So if you go up to 110 and you lose 3, you're still good, or you lose 4, you're still good because it stopped trailing at your starting account balance. Then we have a daily loss limit in place, which is also an important rule. What can I tell about the daily loss limit? Well, of course, that it's always calculated from your starting balance of the day. All right, so it does not. It's always calculated from the starting balance of the day. That's the short of it. As you make money during the day, the daily loss limit will not follow that profit level upwards. All right, always the starting balance of the day, and also calculated on open equity on the negative side, though. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have trades open and they dip below that daily loss limit of 550, 1100, 2200, 3300, whichever account you're on, if it dips below, then it will lock you out. So just bear in mind open equity. Max position size, it's basically the number of contracts that you can trade with. Now, there is a little asterisk next to where it says max position size, of course. It's all clickable on our website, not on this presentation, of course, but it will give you a progression ladder that I will come to in a second. So up to 3 contracts, that's the end goal, but you cannot start with 3. The same goes to 6, 12, and 15. Those are the maximums. But in the beginning, it's always a lower number that you're allowed to trade. And we have that in what is called the progression ladder. I'm going to share with you in a moment. I think it's the next slide, basically, so I'll come back to it. And there's a lot of free stuff that I haven't really mentioned before. We give you a FINAMARK license. FINAMARK is a browser-based trading platform. I'll have a quick slide about them as well. So that's basically a free platform that you get with us. You get access to all our educational content. That's over 60 videos, and that's over 70, I think it's about 75 one-hour-long webinars on different trading topics. So that's all available to you. You can watch as many of it as you'd like. Some people actually keep the account open even when they are not trading the Gauntlet just to watch. It's 71 hours of webinars, 75-ish now, I think. I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of webinars that we have there now. Of course, no extra data fees involved during the Gauntlet, and we also give you JOURNALYTIX for your, I believe it's a 60-day license of JOURNALYTIX, which is a statistics software that should help you make your decisions. I'll talk about them in a moment. There is a monthly subscription to all this. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a subscription-based model, and it starts from $150, goes up to $170, $315, $350 as the most expensive account that we have. It's monthly recurring billing. The progression ladder. Right, so I mentioned earlier that there's a limitation on how many contracts you can trade, and you have to pay attention to this. This is posted on our website. This ladder is linked to our dashboard, and every time a customer gets set up, we specifically ask them to read this and understand this fully. So if you start, I think it's pretty straightforward, but just a quick few words about it. If you work the $25,000 virtual account, then you can trade 2 contracts until you've made $1,500 in profits, right? So once you've passed that, you can have your 3rd contract open over 1,500, 1,501. Now it's a good idea to build a little bit of a cushion. You don't want to dip back below 1,501. Because then it will fail your Gauntlet. Okay, so the idea is that you have to self-police here very heavily. We didn't want to. It's technically because of the minis, the micros, which you can also trade, of course, on any of our products. It's not really possible to limit the number of micros to you trade to 2. So we can't just tell Rhythmic to not allow you to trade 3 contracts because the micros will not work. Nobody wants to trade just 3 micros or 2 micro contracts. You can trade 10 times as many of micros. It's a good place to mention that actually. So anyway, there's no, you don't have to request access to a 3rd contract. You can just trade it when you have enough profits, but you have to self-police here. That's, I want to be very transparent. This is all on you. You have to make sure to trade the correct number of contracts. You don't have to actually scale up. You can just trade 1 all throughout. It doesn't matter. There's no limit on that. Okay. You don't have to basically scale up is what I'm trying to say. You can use intraday gains. No need to wait for approval. That's what I mentioned earlier. It's completely self-policing. You have to pay attention to how you use your gains during the day and how you open up that 3rd or 4th or 6th contract. That's about the progression ladder. That's about it. Basically what I wanted to say here. This is all available on our website, and my customer support agents will be very happy to show you, and it's in our FAQ, and basically we post it right where you purchase, so just make sure you read it. Right, time restrictions. There are some general rules, and there are specific events that you have to be flat for, completely flat. This is very important. Once again, don't leave pending orders in, because that will trigger the rhythmic automation to tell us that you've failed, that you've traded into unapproved times, right? So be completely flat and don't leave your working orders in under any circumstances. The intention of this slide is not exact. I hope you can see it well, but once again, this is something that's posted on our website. It's basically 2 things, right? On the left side at approved times, you will see some general information on when you have to be flat with what asset, okay? So the bullet points on the left will tell you all positions and working orders must be closed by 3:10 p.m. CT until 5 p.m. CT. HELE must be closed by and so on and so on and so on. So these are just general rules that you have to remember if you trade those particular assets, okay? And there are events in our calendar that's right below here, and if you direct your attention to the right side of the screen, it's just a screenshot of our calendar that's on our website, and once again linked to our dashboard, and it's in our FAQ. It's linked to the rules when you sign up. This is a calendar that we update. We try not to touch it throughout the month, but again, I need you to pay attention, and I need you to check it at the top of the trading day, because there's just it's not a good idea to fail because you didn't pay attention to an event that you could have just found by a click. Bookmark that page. Again, we try not to touch it during the month. We just update it once. Maybe the last day of October it got updated, and now it shows November. Of course, the end of November we will show you December's events. But again, check every day. Start your day with that before you hit the buy or sell button, because there's it's best to be 100% sure that no changes have been made in events. The rule is you have to be flat a minute before and a minute after. Now, some things, like a press conference or somebody speaking, you can't really say like what's minute before and what's minute after. I don't understand how to time that. What's after a speech and how long does somebody speak? Of course, that's not something you can automate in any system. So instead, what we ask you is that if the event is at 8:30, you flat your positions completely at 8:29, and you keep them like that until 8:31. It doesn't matter if the speaker speaks longer. Those are the 2 minutes you have to be flat for. A minute before the event, a minute past the event. These are the time restrictions. And yes, so some of the extra stuff that we give you, like I mentioned, we give you basically the entire learning experience that you would have in a different plan. With over 60 lessons, you see the screenshot, excuse me, screenshot on the right. It's just the beginner part of the lessons, but we have an advanced part of lessons, which a lot of you probably will find that beginner lessons are not that interesting to you already. That's fine. You can click on advanced on the top bar, and then you can watch the advanced lessons, which should probably be a little bit more interesting to everyone. We have quizzes. After each lesson, just a couple questions you have to answer, and then you get graded on them. Really, it's once again, the advanced probably applies to you guys a lot more. It's high quality HD video. It's a pretty interesting. Anyways, even if you're not too interested, just spend a couple minutes there. Why not? We also give you the webinars for free, as I mentioned. This is over 70. I think when I made this slide, I think it's closer to 75 now, but again, it's hard to keep track. Some of the topics, well, once again, some of them are beginner topics, some of them are more advanced topics. Some might be useful to you, some may not, but it's still a good idea to check them out. On the screenshot, you can see a couple of topics. These are just random ones that you see there, but again, over 70. So really, there's a lot to unpack if you're interested in this kind of stuff. It's over, like I said, 70 hours of Chris's husky voice. And then let's move. Actually, it's not that husky, to be honest. I don't know why I said that. And then we have the funding stage, right? When you pass the Gauntlet Mini. So what kind of offer do you get once you've passed? You basically get the same offer that you got, that you worked on. So they're the same parameters that you worked with while you were in the Gauntlet Mini. It's the easiest thing to determine what kind of account you will have, because if you bought the $25,000 account with its own profit target and drawdown limits and contract progression ladder, you're going to have the same with Helios. It's important to note, it's also at the moment we don't have a live sim on the Gauntlet Mini. You go straight to live account. These are very heavy risk parameters, and people tend to focus a little bit more, I would say, on these rules here on the Mini than they do on the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet, the original one, is very flexible, and people tend to lose some concentration more, I would guess. It seems to be less so on the Mini because the rules are tighter, which is good. The trailing drawdown, once again, one trail into profit, and Helios will scale you up if you are profitable on your trading account. So that's the same deal essentially as it was on the regular Gauntlet. Right, what else do you get here? You get access to FINAMARK. Here's a quick screenshot or quick picture of FINAMARK. This is a browser-based platform. We have plenty of, actually they have plenty of videos. It's not technically our platform. We offer it with the product, but we actually license it from a company called Karsten Tech. The FINAMARK guys, we've been working with them for a while. Actually, you can chat them, you can speak to their support if you need them for any reason. They have plenty of videos now uploaded about how to use this platform. This is all widget based. You can drag and drop these widgets left and right. You can resize them, you can add them, you can remove them. It's a pretty nice looking platform, and the one of the advantages is, of course, that it's browser based. So if you decide that you need to trade mobile, then you can just open up your Chrome on your mobile device and use it as well. Honestly, we don't ever recommend traders to trade on the go. I'm sure a lot of you know why that's not a good idea. It's plenty of reasons why you shouldn't be doing that, but people sometimes want to do that even at home. It's fine. It's not the best idea, but it's fine. But anyways, yeah, so this is a widget-based thing. It has plenty of indicators, and again, if you need the links to what they offer, and what you can do with them. My agents on Earn2Trade.com will be happy to share it with you, and their agents at FINAMARK SYS.com. They will also be very happy to send you everything they have. So yes, it's free during the Gauntlet. It's free for 90 days on live accounts as well. That's about it. And then we have Journalytics, of course, another interesting statistic. This is a statistics software. We have this. We got this from our friends at Jigsaw Trading. A lot of you use their products, anyways. They give us a 60-day license. This is basically a really powerful performance and statistics tool. So it will tell you what days you've been trading more successfully, less successfully. You can draw all kinds of conclusions just by looking at your own stats in an organized and well-presented manner. Traders like it very much, actually, and the first 60 days are free. Then you decide if you want to purchase it or you don't want to purchase it, you don't want to license it. But as you come to Earn2Trade and you make your purchase, you can just tell us if you need this enabled, and then we enable it, and then you have access to it in our dashboard on Earn2Trade.com. So our dashboard makes a very nice little command center now with the platform, with the videos, with the extra content, with the Journalytics, of course, FINAMARK. It's pretty exciting. And here we go, list of available platforms. This is something a lot of you must have been waiting for. We are using Rhythmic, or we use Rhythmic, and we will be using Rhythmic in the future. Any Rhythmic capable platform, if you don't see them on the list here, you can ask us if you can use Rhythmic. That's if you don't see it here, you can probably find a solution, or we can't. But these are the platforms that we know we can use with Rhythmic on Earn2Trade. So I don't want to go through them one by one, but the exciting ones that you will ask me questions anyways. So FINAMARK, available free. You don't even have to request it, honestly. We enable it immediately, and basically a few minutes after your purchase, you already have access to it. Then you have Sierra Chart. That's a very often asked question. If they work with us, unfortunately, I don't know if they offer free trials anymore. They don't seem to really like Rhythmic too much, to be honest. But yeah, it's just you have to speak to their support to get better information on that. But we do know that a lot of users use that on our product. And then you get Rhythmic's own platforms, RTrader, and honestly, RTrader Pro is the superior, and you should always be using that. That's as far as I can get with my knowledge on RTrader Pro, but I do know that it's a powerful platform. A lot of customers use it. It's also free with the Rhythmic data feed, and it's free on the Gauntlet, on live sim, and on live accounts. So there you go. That's a free option, free platform that you get through us, I should say. And then you get Overcharts, which is also free for the Gauntlet customers. You can ask us to enable it, and then we'll ask our friends at Overcharts to enable your email address and everything, and then you will have that platform available for you as well. So then we have NinjaTrader, which I'm sure that about 79% of you guys want to ask me about. So let's just get ahead of that, and let's just say yes, you can use NinjaTrader on the Gauntlet. Okay, now, and of course also on live sim. What you cannot do, or what you have problems with, is live accounts. Okay, because they don't seem to want to work with Helios too much, or their brokerage is what my understanding is. So on live accounts, the way around that is basically to use Rhythmic's leader follower system. how that works is that you basically trade in your NinjaTrader. Rhythmic copies that and executes that trade on a live feed. All right, so you're basically not trading live in NinjaTrader, but Rhythmic will copy your the trade that you placed in your own NinjaTrader, and then pass it onto a live feed, and that's how you make your trades. This is the way that it can work at the moment. Unfortunately, it has a little bit of a cost because then it costs $25 a month to do that with Helios. And if you've used it for 6 months, then it will cost $50 a month. It increases a little bit simply because the Rhythmic user will cost that much. It's not something you pay Helios because it's not a convenience thing from Helios. It's just the extra account that has to be maintained for that costs a little bit of money, and then they will have to charge for that. So that's the solution to the big NinjaTrader question that I no doubt a lot of you will want to ask. And then that's about it. The rest of the platforms we have a bunch more here, and then we have a couple more here on this slide. And as I mentioned earlier, if you don't see our platform, but you know it's compatible with Rhythmic, you can contact us. Ask us. We'll see if our guys here can figure out how to use that particular platform. Maybe it will work. We'll see. But even if it doesn't, there's plenty of there are free alternatives to everything. You see, we go about our way to give you guys as much free stuff as possible in terms of platforms, and that's what it is. So I think that's about it. That's about it. What I plan to tell you today. Of course, if you're elite members on futures.io, you're gonna see our banner there. If you click through it, if you want to make a purchase, then you will get 25% off of your Gauntlet product of choice. Basically, you click through that link, and then you just that sends us a quick email. We will ask you which product you need. You will tell us which product you need, and then we generate a discount code for you, and then you can use that when you sign up to our products. So that's about it. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for the attendance, and yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions to the best of my ability.
Okay. All right, guys, if you have questions, type them in, and I'll ask them to Saba. That $4.29 for the Gauntlet, is that before or after the discount?
That's before the discount.
Okay.
These are all the base prices that I talked about today.
Does submitting the trading plan entail disclosing detailed trading methodology?
Anything you want to keep a secret, or anything that's proprietary, or you just don't want to tell us, you don't have to.
Okay. What are the withdrawal What are the withdrawal fees?
Right. So so basically what you can do is either Bankwire or ACH. ACH is free in the United States. Bankwires are $15 in the US and $25 international. So it's worth waiting and making enough to, that I told you that over $500, these fees are taken care of by us. It's a good idea to wait until you hit $500 and withdraw it then, because yeah, the banks they cost an arm and a leg.
Okay. Who pays the exchange fees?
Right, that's an excellent question. It's so basically the exchange fees. I'm sure most of you know, but if you don't, it's $105 per exchange per month once you go live. Right, so no exchange fees on the Gauntlet or any of the Gauntlets, right? The Gauntlet or the Gauntlet Mini. But once you start trading live, then you're gonna have to pay for that. So it's on the trader, $105 per month per exchange. Now, what you can do, this is Helios's solution to try to maybe help you out a little bit. is if you have a feed, a data feed from somewhere that you can chart on, then you can use that for charting, and then Helios will give you a feed that's for execution only. So this is something that was new to me as well. Maybe you guys have seen this type of setup somewhere else before, but basically there's a way to just get an execution data feed that will not enable you to chart. All it will do is just execute your orders. So Helios can give you that. That does not cost $105 per month per exchange, as per the CME. And whatever other feed you might have from somebody else, you can use that, and then you don't have to pay the CME through Helios.
Okay. You said that Earn2Trade does not issue a 1099; it's a K1. So, do they still receive a K1 if they're not a U.S. resident?
So for non-U.S. residents, we actually have an FAQ about that. You have to have the ITIN number, if I remember that correctly, which is maybe you guys can help me out, or Terry, you can help me out. It's like a tax ID type number.
Okay.
And you have to have that if you're not from the United States. It's I believe it's free to request from the U.S. government. Now, in terms of the K1, when you're non-US, I'm not sure, to be honest, but it's really the best thing you can do is not really ask us, because we have people from all around the world, and we can't really be up to date with how taxation goes in different countries. That on income that you make in another country, just please talk to your local CPA, get your accountant, get your tax expert on the case, and ask them, because unfortunately I can't really help you there. Helios might also have more information on that, and you can reach them at traders at Helios TP. It's Helios Trading Partners, heliostp.com.
Okay. When moving between the live sim and a real funded account, does it mean I can withdraw the $5,000 from the live sim before moving to the live account, or what is the max number amount I can withdraw between the live sim and the Gauntlet reel?
Right. So you can withdraw your share of the which is 80% of the 5,000. So basically, you can withdraw $4,000 at any point. You make a little bit of money, you can withdraw that. As I mentioned earlier, it's just you will be stopped out when the entire amount of profit made on the account hits 5,000. Some people decide to leave it in there, and then basically it gets added to their Helios account. So the live account will start from 29,000. You can do that if you want to, but you don't have to. You can withdraw it.
Okay. Is it possible to trade U.S. bonds, UB and ZB, with the 25,000 account?
I do remember ZB. If UB is also a futures product, then yes, all CME futures products, including Bitcoin futures, including the micros, they are all tradable on all four of the exchanges in the CME group. That's what I can tell you. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what UB is, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's tradable, though.
Do they need to have their own license of Ninja to use during the evaluation?
That is correct. Ninja, you'll have to have a paid license that is Rhythmic capable.
Okay.
Paid license, Rhythmic capable. It's important information.
Is the mobile FINAMARK app able to be used from a mobile phone?
FINAMARK can be used from a mobile phone. It's not an app though. It's just you open you open your Chrome
Okay.
on your cell phone, and then you can use it in that browser. As usual, I have to just tell everyone, don't trade mobile. We don't recommend it. I think the FINAMARK guys don't recommend it either. The best thing to do is to sit down in front of your desktop.
Okay. How much latency is added between the Ninja and the Rhythmic Leader follower system?
I think it's measured in milliseconds. There is a caveat, of course, and that's an excellent question. Thank you for bringing that up. We posted that in an FAQ about NinjaTrade. We have a big FAQ about NinjaTrader now, so if you come to Earn2Trade, just go to the help page and type NinjaTrader, and all this information is up there. So there might be delays, and you may not get the exact fill, unfortunately. As far as I know, it hasn't really happened to a terrible degree. I would have probably heard, but it's best to ask Helios. The reason I'm not trying to, ditch the question or avoid the question. It's just the reality is that once you pass Earn2Trade's Gauntlet and you go to Helios, that's a separate company. And we can't just go to Helios and ask them like, hey, how is this guy doing, or how is that guy doing? We don't really know. We know when the customers come back and ask us questions again, or just chat with us on our support, but we don't really have other information on their trading. But Helios is not keeping it as a secret. So if you hit them up, send them an email, then they will most likely tell you.
Okay. Are Canadians eligible for the product, or is there any
Yes.
country exclusions that you're aware of?
Yes, a few countries. It's I think maybe about 10 or 15 countries that that the brokerage that Helios uses, it has to follow U.S. sanctions. Certain countries, off the top of my head, I can say that North Korea, Afghanistan, Venezuela. I remember the Ukraine on that list. A couple, I think Iran. A couple of countries like maybe about 10 countries on that list, but Canada is of course accepted, and we'll be happy to tell you if you come to our site if you want to make sure.
Okay. Can a U.S. LLC serve as a member of Helios? Can you start as an individual member, and then once you pass a gauntlet, change to an LLC later?
Yes, you can. In fact, when you come to Earn2Trade, we need to set you up as an individual. So it has to be Mr. James Smith, who has the Earn2Trade account and trades through the Gauntlet, but can become part of Helios as an LLC. Yes.
Okay. If you later end up having to pay for the data feed somewhere else, and you're paying for the data feed out of pocket, can you cancel the Helios exchange fees?
Yes, that's the little workaround thing that I explained earlier.
Okay.
So if you have a feed from somewhere else that you want to use, you can use that. Helios will give you a feed for execution and not charting. So execution only.
Awesome. Does the Helios execution only data work with the Jigsaw platform? I'm assuming it works with all the platforms that you use.
Yeah, it's same rhythmic stuff, just a different kind of feed.
Okay.
So all the rhythmic capable ones will work with it.
Once you pass the Gauntlet mini test, what are the costs when trading a funded account? I'm assuming it's just the data fees and wire fees. There's no monthly cost, or
there's no monthly cost when you pass the Gauntlet mini. Well, the exchange fees, if it applies to you, again, I had that little workaround earlier. Whatever platform you license from somewhere, you have to pay for that, but that's not necessarily through us, or that's not through us at all. And then there's, of course, the trading commissions. That's it.
If you complete the Gauntlet mini, do you also have to do the live sim?
No live sim after the Gauntlet mini. The live sim is only after the regular Gauntlet.
Okay. Uh, so even with the restriction on trading times, is it possible to take trades during the Asia-London session? Is it possible to hold overnight with the mini?
So the mini it's not possible to hold overnight, but overnight is the exchange closed between 3:10 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time, right? So you can open again after 5 p.m.
You
and
just
it's
can't hold
possible
through
to,
the close.
correct. You
Okay.
can hold through the close, and you can trade any other session as long as it doesn't conflict with an event or any other general rule that we have that I showed you earlier.
If they start with a Gauntlet Mini, Helios doesn't have the same time restrictions, correct? It's open; they can trade however they want, or are they still restricted by which Gauntlet they
No, it's
completed?
exactly the same setup
Okay.
on the Helios account.
Is there a minimum needed performance per month when trading a funded account?
There's no profit target per month if that's what the person is asking. What they do not like is you completely stopping trading. So if you want to take a break or you want to go on a holiday or something, you have to disclose that. If you're disappearing completely for 5 days in a row, then they will most likely give you a warning or terminate your account for that matter. So if you want to take an extended break, you have to let them know. Other than that, there's no profit target that you have to hit or number of trades that you have to complete each month. That's not a requirement.
What are the contract sizes for trading the micros?
It's 10 times the regular. So if your progression ladder has allows two regular contracts, then you can trade 20
Micro.
20 micros,
Perfect.
or you can trade 10 micros and one regular, something like that. You just have to keep track of that.
On the Earn2Trade site, the 50K account shows a cost of $170 a month. So the 25% off for elite members applies to this. If it takes more than 15 days and or months, is that special cost fixed, or is that 25% only for the first month?
That's 25% off for the first month.
Okay. I think that is all the questions. Oh wait, yep, there we go. Yep, that's all the questions. Thank you for the webinar, the information, and for spending some time with us this evening.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you everyone for joining.